hold on, how did you evolve? I had my finger down the B button the whole time. You don't have an Everstone equipped. How the hell did you evolve? What the fuck? I have been a fan of the Tales of series for more than a decade now. When I first started playing JRPGs, I saw Tales of Symphonia in a Game Informer magazine, and I just knew this was the next RPG I needed to play at the time. I bought Tales of Symphonia day one and was impressed. I absolutely loved it, from its colorful and bright cast of characters to its solid combat, at the time at least, and it had a fairly lengthy story. Tales of Symphonia at the time was my favorite Tales of game, bar none, until Tales of the Abyss came along and knocked it out of the park. Still to this day, Tales of the Abyss is the best Tales of game in my opinion, don't at me. Anyway, over the years, I have played every single Tales of game that has come to North America, and I gotta say, there hasn't been one that I thought was bad, except of course Tales of Symphonia Dawn of the New World, but we don't talk about that one. Anyway, after playing a bunch of Tales of games, the series has become one of my go-to RPGs that I know nowadays will provide me with, at the very least, a solid experience. I've come to expect a certain style and look to the Tales of series, and that's what I've known the series as for so long. When the games moved to more powerful hardware with Exalias, Asteria, and Berseria, a certain look became the norm with the games. No longer was it an outright anime style, but you can easily tell that it was one, a JRPG, and two, a Tales of game. Now, with the recent announcement of Tales of Arise, the latest Tales of game, I was excited and yet a little bit at a loss for words. I was excited that we finally got a new Tales of game after all this time, but at a loss because this didn't look like, at first, a Tales of game. I mean, if you just gave me this screenshot a month or two ago, I would have guessed anything and everything under the sun, from a Western style game to a Korean MMO. Never would I have guessed it was the next Tales of game. Now, when I saw the game in action with the trailer and saw the character models, it very much looked like a Tales of game then. But the combat is not something I have seen from a Tales of game before. It looks different, and in my opinion, it looks Western. The series is changing, going in a new direction, or rather, it's evolving, one might say. In an interview with the game's producer, he said that the goal when making Tales of Arise was succession and evolution, and that they wanted to appeal to a younger audience. In my eyes though, appealing to a younger audience just means appeal to a new generation of gamers, or really, again in my eyes, appeal to the Western market. And that kind of rings true with E3 2019. Think about it, guys. When have you ever seen a mainline Tales of game, or rather a mothership Tales of title announced in the West first and not in Japan? On the console that literally, and I do mean literally, sells 10 consoles a month in the same country that this game is being made. Some of you will argue, but Shadow, Tales of Vesperia was announced at last year's E3. Really, my dude? You want to come at me with the announcement of a re-release of a 10-year-old game? Really? Okay, fine, you got it, Chief. But I still think it's unprecedented to have a brand new Tales of title debuted on such a Western styled event and platform. Listen guys, I'm not against change. I'm very much for a series that wants to change in order to survive and stay relevant. No matter how you look at it, the Tales of series is still fairly niche. I think the goal with most JRPG companies is to at least have the brand recognition of maybe Persona. Not Final Fantasy, that's like worldwide appeal in the household name, but let's just say Persona. And Bandai Namco wants that kind of recognition for the series. And let's face it, if you could become a hit in the West, your sales is more than likely going to be way better than what you could ever sell in the East. Because obviously the West is a bigger market. And it could also be because the console business is slowly but surely on a decline in Japan, with mobile and PC gaming taking the helm. Let's get one thing clear. Seeing the small bit of combat of this game has me hyped. Don't get the wrong idea. But at the same time, it's got me a little bit worried. If this game does really well, this might be the style of Tales of games that we might see for years to come. And maybe, just maybe, that's what the series needs. You know, I kind of feel like this is a similar situation to Valkyria Revolution. That game went in a vastly different route and style from the more traditional Valkyria Chronicles games. And if that game did well, and if most people liked it, and if it was received well, you best believe we wouldn't have gotten Valkyria Chronicles 4 when we did, or if at all. And Valkyria Chronicles 4 didn't do all that well from a sales standpoint at the end of the day, so who knows where that series is at now. And you know, there's one major difference between this and Revolution, and it's right off the bat, you can tell Valkyria Revolution was gonna be trash. Tales of Arise, on the other hand, looks like to be a great game. So guys, at the end of the day, while I'm excited to play this new Tales of game, I'm a bit worried. Change can be scary at times, but it can lead to something incredible. And it can lead to something that you didn't even know you wanted until you got the change. I'm getting Tales of Arise day one. Who else will I be seeing getting this game when it drops in 2020? Sound off in the comments and let me know what you think of the direction the Tales of series is going in. As always, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. And of course, subscribe if you want more videos about the Japanese role-playing game. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.